In the last video, I gave you the big picture of the premium freedom blueprint and the health wealth loop, how your health insurance and your SIPs can be made to work together instead of pulling in opposite directions. In this video, I want to show you how the 7-year version actually flows, using simple, no-stress logic. We are not going to do complicated math on screen. I've attached a sample calculation PDF below this video. You can download it and study the numbers in detail later. Right now, I want you to understand the design. To make this real, let's assume a simple profile. Imagine someone in their mid-30s, already earning reasonably well, with the ideal covers more or less identified using the required cover calculator. Let's say the total health insurance premium for their chosen base and super top-up structure works out to a round number like 30,000 rupees a year. The exact number doesn't matter, I'm just using a clean figure so your mind doesn't get stuck. Alongside that, we assume a SIP into a suitable mutual fund, with a long-term expected return in a realistic range. For equity-oriented SIPs, you may see 10, 12 or even more in some periods, but for design purposes we think in a conservative band, not in fantasy numbers. The sample PDF uses one such reasonable assumption so you can see the impact year by year. Here is the core idea of the 7-year version. In year 1 of this strategy, you are doing two things from your income. You are paying your health insurance premiums from your pocket, that 30,000, and at the same time you are contributing a planned amount into a dedicated premium freedom SIP. So in year 1, it feels like a double effort. You are maintaining the right protection and you are funding the SIP. This is the only year where the premium is fully and openly coming from your side while the SIP is just beginning its journey. From year 2 onwards, the story starts to change. Because you put in money in year 1 and that money got some time to grow, you now have a small but meaningful corpus in that SIP. The SIP contribution for this strategy is not a random number. It is deliberately designed so that, from the second year onwards, the SIP corpus is capable of taking care of that year's health insurance premium. In other words, if you wanted to, you could withdraw from the SIP to pay the premium and still keep the structure alive. In practice, the actual money may still flow via your bank account, you pay the insurer as usual and continue the SIP. But mentally and mathematically, the premium is no longer dependent only on your current income. There is now an investment pool behind you that can shoulder that payment. So years 2 to 7 are a transition phase. You are still contributing to the SIP, you are still paying the premium each year, but you are no longer naked in front of that premium. The SIP corpus is steadily growing in the background, and each year it is large enough to fund that year's premium if required. In the sample PDF, you will see how the corpus builds year after year under the assumed return rate and SIP amount. The key is that through these 7 years, your job is to stay consistent. Keep your protection intact, keep your premium freedom SIP running, and allow compounding to do its work. Now come to the real magic point, what happens from year 8 onwards. By the time you reach year 8, if you have stuck to the plan and returns have been somewhere in the assumed conservative range, your SIP corpus is no longer small. It is now big enough that you can genuinely stop fresh contributions and let the corpus itself start taking over the health insurance premium payments. That means, from your pocket, you no longer need to put additional money into this structure. The P&L of premiums versus SIP now shifts from your monthly cash flow to this dedicated corpus. You can think of it this way. In years 1 to 7, your income was doing the heavy lifting, paying the premium and funding the SIP. In year 8 and beyond, the money you built, your corpus, becomes your bodyguard. It steps in front and says, from here on, I will handle this recurring premium. You focus on living your life and managing other goals. This is what I mean when I talk about aiming for premium freedom. We are not erasing the premium, we are shifting who pays it. Of course, life and markets are never as clean as an Excel sheet. So we have to talk about what happens if returns are lower or higher than the assumption. If returns turn out to be lower, the corpus at the end of 7 years will also be lower. That doesn't mean the idea has failed. It simply means that you may need to either continue the SEEP for a bit longer, adjust the SEEP amount, or allow for the possibility that your future self will share some of the premium burden along with the corpus. The design gives you a direction and an anchor. It does not hand you a fixed guarantee. On the other hand, if returns are better than assumed or your actual premiums are lower than the conservative estimate we used in the design, you could find yourself in an even stronger position. The corpus may become large enough to not only handle premiums comfortably but also leave a bigger buffer that continues to grow. In that case, your premium freedom SEEP would have done more than its original job. It would effectively have created a separate wealth pool that can later be reallocated to other goals or eventually pass on to your family. I want to be very clear here. What I am showing you is design logic. It is a way to structure your protection and investments so that you are not at the mercy of random premium hikes and your own future income. It is not a promised, fixed outcome. Mutual fund returns are market-linked. Premiums can change over time. Personal situations change. That is why I keep insisting that the 7-year and 12-year versions are frameworks, not predictions. In your one-to-one premium freedom planning call, we will work with your actual age, your actual premium, your risk comfort and your investment capacity to tune this design so it is realistic for you. For now, your job is to understand the flow clearly. Year 1, you pay the premium yourself and start the premium freedom SEEP. Years 2 to 7, you keep both going, knowing that from the second year, your SEEP corpus is already capable of backing up the premium each year and is getting stronger. Year 8 onwards, if the numbers are broadly on track, you can stop fresh SEEP contributions and allow the corpus to take over the premium payments, while it continues to sit there as part of your wealth. If you are someone who likes seeing the actual rupee numbers, please download the calculation PDF attached below this video. Go through it slowly. You will see the assumed premium, the SEEP amount, the return rate used and the corpus each year. You don't have to understand every formula. Just see the pattern, how consistent contributions over 7 years can create a pool that changes the entire psychology of paying health insurance. In the next video, we will talk about the 12-year version of this blueprint. For some people, 7 years of relatively higher contributions is too heavy or their starting age and situation make a longer runway more suitable. I will show you how the logic remains the same but the pace and comfort level change when we stretch the contribution window to 12 years.